Okay guys, we're going to go over this in a little bit more detail. So, I've put all the ships together so you can kind of see them. So you can see the ship, they each have a card with their stats on them. Let's get over here. So as you can see, the red right there, the red number 3 is their attack, 2 is their defense. So those are the amount of dice you're going to roll. So 3 attack die, 2 defense die. 3 is the yellow 3 is their hull points, and then blue is shielding. The little eyeball that you see there, right next to where the peg inserts, is a focus ability, and then the little target looking thing, the crosshair type thing, is called a target lock. So let's continue on. They each have their own. They each have their own dial. The X-wing has its own. It's indicated whenever you flip it upside down on the table as a maroon color. I don't know if you or brown compared to the black that the Imperial have. Each fighter has their own special abilities. As you can see on this one, their abilities are a little bit different. They have an evade, which allows them to get an evade token. They have something called a barrel roll and a focus. Now, if you can see on these guys, they have 0 for their shields, so they do not acquire shields. You have your straight movements and your wheelabouts, or K turns, whatever you want to call it. Your just general turns, and then you have your hard turns. In the game, each player will take a turn placing an asteroid. There will usually be 6 asteroids on the field. I don't think they can be within a certain distance of the ships initially, and they have to be within a certain distance of each other. For those of us who aren't that smart, these are identity tokens pretty much. So basically what you'll do is you'll take this. Let's do it on a TIE fighter here. Maybe. And it'll basically, sorry, the camera's not working with me. It'll basically look like that, and then you'll have that number 1 next to the card that involves that player. So for those of us who can't read, that's what those are for. These are your target locks. They are red and blue, and they each have a matching, so there's 2 E's like that on, and then like on the other side there's an F for both sides, so that way you can do different target locks for different people. Unfortunately though, Luke's the only one with target lock. It comes with a Briggs, come on, focus. It comes with a Briggs, and each one of these little cards are double-sided so that you can kind of play different ones. There's the rookie pilot, Dark Curses, Mauler Mythals, Academy Pilot, so you can kind of see those guys. And those fit neatly right into these little trays. I notice if you do it kind of at a diagonal from one side and then press it in, they fit in there nicely. These, I believe, are the damage tokens for the Senator Shuttle, which is part of a game type. So basically you just have to make it survive for 5 rounds. These are part of another game type. They're kind of like recon beacons, I would say, and I think the Empire has to destroy them before a certain amount of rounds, something along those lines. These are your evade tokens, which allow you to expend, and I'll talk about dice rolls here in a minute, but you expend them to turn one of the attacks or hits or critical into a evade. These are your focus tokens. Use focuses whenever you get a focus roll on the dice to turn either an attack focus into an attack or a no, I'm sorry, you use the focus to re-roll your die. That's what it is. So let's say you have a focus token and with your character, then you get to spend that focus token to re-roll your defense die or your attack die, depending on what you're doing. These are the shields. Luke only has shields and he only has 2, so there are only 2 with the box. These are called tracking tokens. I'm not exactly sure what they're for. They're part of the Senator ship game. I still don't know what they're for. I think it's part of maybe like once. It said something along the lines of like once per turn, you put this either on the Senator shuttle or something along those lines. So these are your stress tokens, and you put those on your characters whenever they perform a stressful maneuver. As you can see in here, there's the little white 3. That's just a normal move, so you can make that at any time. No stress, no benefit whatsoever. But then you can see this next one is a K turn, but it's red. So that means that you would put a stress token next to that character until they perform. As you can see on this one, it's a green, and greens get rid of stress tokens. So, and then finally, again, you have your ruler. So I just have all this pulled out. Get back here just to kind of see what you actually get for your chunk of cash. Also, sorry, the dice. You have your evade on the far left, a focus, and a nothing. You have a hit, a crit, and a focus. And the hit also have a nothing tile. So that's what you get. It's not a bad bang for your buck. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty happy. The more I pulled it apart, the more I was happy with what was with it. Here, I'll talk to you about those game type choice last. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. So mission 1 is political escort. Mission setup, Red Squadron pilot, so you have to have specific pilots for the Rebels, and then the Imperials, you have the Academy pilot and an Academy pilot. Use ID tokens to identify the 2 ships, see page 18. Rebel player places the Senator shuttle token within range 1 of the edge of his play area. The shuttle must be placed in the exact center of the edge with its artwork pointing directly toward the Imperial player. Place 1 unused Rebel ship card face down near the Rebel player's other ship cards outside the play area. Then he places his ships within range 2 of the edge of his play area. Okay, that makes sense. So for a Rebel victory, the Senator shuttle must flee off the Imperial player's edge, and for an Imperial victory, it must destroy the Senator shuttle, and it has a certain amount of hull points and defense that I can use. I'm not going to read you the whole thing on that, so you guys can buy it and read it yourself. The next one is Asteroid Run. Mission setup, Rebel is Luke Skywalker. And then it says Determination. Oh, okay. So that's the upgrade you're going to give them. So you're going to have Luke Skywalker, and then you're going to have the Determination card for the ship as well. Then you're also going to have, for the Imperial, you're going to have Night Beast and Mauler Mythol, but Mauler Mythol have Marksman. Imperial player places his ships within range 1 of either player's edge of the play area. He is not required to place all of his ships on the same side of the area. Then the Rebel player places his ships anywhere in play that are not within range of 1 of 3. So you have to put yours like in the middle of the board. Either the Imperial edge or the Rebel edge of the play area. He chooses one of his ships to be disabled. The Rebel player places his ships anywhere within the play area that is not within range 1 to 3 of either of the Imperial edge or the Rebel edge of the play area. He chooses one of his ships to be the disabled ship and inserts a tracking token into its base. Then the Imperial player places 6 asteroid tokens anywhere in the area that is not within range 1 of the Rebel ship or other asteroid tokens. Alright, for a Rebel victory, disable ship must flee off, and either player's edge of the play area during round 5 or later. If it flees in this way, it is not considered destroyed. Any ships that flee before round 5 or flee from a non-Imperial or non-Rebel area play are destroyed as normal. For an Imperial victory, destroy the disabled ship. So, disabled ship. The unit disabled ships are repaired, and it may be assigned only 1 or 2 speed maneuvers. At the start of round 5, the disabled ship is repaired, and the rebel player must now assign the ship any maneuver available on its dial and may attempt to flee. Tracking rounds. At the start of each planning phase, including the first one, the rebel player takes 1 tracking token from the supply and places it near his ship's card outside the play area. The number of tracking tokens indicates the current round number. Well, that's kind of stupid. Why don't you just... Okay, I mean, whatever. I guess that... Used for tracking what round it is. Like, literally, it's tracking as in tracking what round it is. That's kind of stupid. Anyways, I mean, personally. Sorry, didn't mean to take so long. And then, let's see. Dark Whispers. The mission setup is a red squadron pilot with proton torpedoes and an R2-F2. The Imperial is a black squadron pilot with determination and an obsidian squadron pilot. The Imperial player places his ships within range 1 of the edge of the play area. The Rebel player places 1 satellite token within range 3, 1 satellite token within range 2, and then 1 within range 1 of his edge of the play area. If playing with 100-point squads, the Rebel player places 1 additional satellite token within the range 3, 1 additional satellite token within range 2 of his edge area. Oh, I'm sorry, pardon me. You place a satellite in range 3 and 2, and then you place your ships within range 1. And then, if you're playing 100 points, you place an additional 1 in 3 and 2. Sorry about that. Each satellite token must be at range 2 or farther away from both sides of the edge of play area. After this placement, each satellite must be at range 2 or 3 at least from one other satellite. The objectives: destroy all Imperial ships or return all satellite tokens to the supply. And for an Imperial victory, all satellite tokens have been scanned. At least 1 Imperial ship that scanned a satellite must flee off the Imperial edge of play area. Ships that flee in this way are not considered destroyed. Any ships that flee before all satellite tokens have been scanned or flee from the non-Imperial edge of the play area are destroyed as normal. Scanning. Instead of performing an attack during the combat phase, an Imperial ship that is overlapped a satellite token may scan the token. To do so, he removes the satellite token from play and places it on the scanning ship's ship card. A ship may scan more than 1 satellite token. The Rebel ship is overlapping a satellite. An Imperial ship that is touching the Rebel ship may scan the satellite as if the Imperial ship were overlapping the satellite token. If an Imperial ship is destroyed after scanning 1 or more satellite tokens, return all satellite tokens to the ship's card to the supply. So, that's not bad. So you have like a protection mission, kind of a mission that's more about speed more so than killing everybody, and then one that's about surviving as long as possible. So it gives you just a little bit of variability in your play, so that you're not just running these guys back and forth at each other over and over and over. So maybe it'll also give you a little bit of an idea of what you might want to do instead to what you might want to do instead to mix up the game a little bit. So anyways, guys, I know that was probably boring watching me read forever, so I'll edit that out probably. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Here's one last final view of everything. All the ships, all the tokens, that's all the stuff you get for about 30 bucks. Really not that bad. You can get it even cheaper online. So I will see you guys later.